My name is Marissa Baez. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. And as far as kind of work, I would say it's a various range because the works can exist sculpturally, they can exist in the form of prints, they can exist through sound. There's always a connection, for the most part, to history. The medium I started with is actually painting. And that's one of the things I do the least now. I was working a lot with a different kind of conversation. More, I would say this work kind of references a little bit towards the past work in regards to a broken home, domestic abuse, the goldenrod picture, I would say there's less emotional energy involved with that. That's more of a walking practice or walking around this area in Germany I was in. Whereas if we look at the piece next to it, like the headpiece, there's more of an intuitive connection, more of emotional connection. It's physically, I wrap my hair around the piece, and this frame, it's a metal frame that I welded with a bronze rose on top, surrounded by wax fingers and roses. There's more of a physical aspect to it, more physical pain, emotional pain. Another thing I think about is how some of these pieces existed in different places. In transit, it's a lot of works that they started off in one place and they ended up being complete in another. The pots, for example. I think about the time and energy put into them, and they are attached to another work. What people don't know is the journey of taking it to another place. The labor put into just getting it to that stage, just to get it fired, just to get it glazed. And I see it as in correlation to marginalized bodies or third space identity bodies. And these different life cycles also reflect these different experiences we all go through, in connection to exploitation, microaggressions. That's where I make the connection. I see it attached to bodies and experiences. When it comes to the work in this space, I needed to think about, I was thinking about size, and I was thinking about easy flow, easy walkway. What would be great in this in this space. I wanted to kind of make a connection to these performances, how these pieces have been used in performances, and how the last headpiece over there is going to be used in a performance. So in my undergrad work, I referenced a lot of home, broken home. And I made a lot of connections to pain. And my answer was, I want people to feel that. In this sense, with this new body of work, I want people to investigate. I want them to research. And then a lot of them, some people do know some references. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they knew about the goldenrod, this native plant. And so we had a conversation about this plant was in someone's garden in Germany, an invasive plant here, but native plant here. And so it makes connections to colonization, but also conversation about invasive species. There's a lot of context with each piece. And there are people who can recognize it, and there are people who don't. And so there's a lot of I can explain about the piece, and I'm happy to do that, but to a certain extent.